nafshi Sara yelecha. Yerav lavo sechei zechria lecha ki nafshi Sara nafshi Sara yelecha. Agud Voch Boisai. Livinish Masi Mimiras Yosef Mordechai. Agud and Chodesh, Agud Yor. We have with us very, very special guests. A lot. What's your name, Tzaddik? Lassen Tzvi what? You're the famous Weissfish. Lassen Tzvi. Everybody remembers from the beginning of Brachas, we had Shmuli's brother, and we have Rabbi Weissfish. He's our in-house shochet. So anytime we do showing lungs, and here he is in the flesh. Yishkoach Rabbi Weissfish, Mamish. He does it. He's a big Talmud Chacham. Does it on the way to doing shchita v'chulu v'chulu. We have the Rothman brothers with us. Jonas, Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
Eli Rothman.
Eli, Shalom Aleichem. Your brother. What's your name? Shui. You're making a chasana. Mazel tov to Avi, Mazel tov. And who did you bring with you from Chicago? No, you. What's your name? Rabbi Mendelsberg. Shelly, the famous Shelly. I used to play basketball with you.
Of the AB from Chicago.
Of the who?
AB from Chicago.
AB from Chicago. You're his Zaidi, really? So how come you never come to Shir in Chicago? The famous AB. You guys remember AB, the 10-year-old that stumped me once? He asked me a Givaldik Akasha. I forgot who it was, like an Archlan or something. All right, who else is a guest here today? Shalom, what's your name? Joey Astro. Ashraf. Shalom Aleichem. And you davened here this morning, no? It's Geshmak, right? No talking. Geshmak Igwai davening. All right, who else do we have? Alan Gross, you're not a guest. And is that your son? Who's that with you all the way at the end? Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? We don't wear hats in here, you know? But you could. If it's not a black hat, you know, it's a cowboy, then it's okay.
They call me Yudah the cowboy.
Listen, and also if you're not blocking anybody, we don't care. But usually it's Yishkoyach. We need a cowboy once in a while. Dan Rubinoff is here, Shalom Aleichem. You're not a guest, B'chlal. What's your name all the way in the back in the corner? I've never seen anybody get confused with their name besides myself. I have a bad memory, but what's your excuse? Eli Dahan? Well, you're trying to pull a fast one on me. You're trying to say Eli Cohen, so I hear, okay. So, where are you from? Brooklyn, New York. What do they call it? Starrett City? Ah, very nice. Okay. And who's that? Ariel. Ariel, are you a guest? Yes. Rabbi said we have one of our editors here, Ariel. We don't really get to see him. He's behind the scenes. Raise your hand, Ariel. Very nice. Okay, so we can get going here. Beautiful. I like this picture. It's like almost like a professional picture. I wonder, you see a little light on the baby. I did? And I showed this also?
No. Yes, no.
I like this picture a lot. This is Rabbi Victor Miller's shul on the 4th of July. I said I put out the flag, so they also... But it's Shiloh on Thanksgiving, you would put out a flag. I still don't know. This, Rabbi Isai, MDY Belgium, love it. They have a small group, and they're getting larger and larger, and they keep on pushing. Yitzi Eisenthal should come over there. So, you go? You go to Belgium once in a while? No. Doesn't. Yaakov Friedman. Pella Ploim, a kiss from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Dov Harris sent me on Friday. He sent me a text message, a voice note. I'm not very good at getting the voice notes from my phone into here. I don't know. It's always a problem. But he said he wanted to let me know that because of Mo Landy, he did a whole, like a ton of dapim on his way. He was flying with his family. And then he said that his flight was delayed an hour and a half. Usually you get nervous. He was happy. It gave him another, he could do what he wanted to do. The chayvus, you know? You could finish him a whole masechta. He's like, wow, okay, geshmak. So I get this. I don't know when it came in. Friday also. My nephew got married in England. This is from somebody else. From when we got engaged, I was inspired to do Chazara. From when he got engaged, I was inspired to do Chazara on a Masechta while traveling from Lakewood. I downloaded Masechta Chagiga, so I can listen on the plane. It was a long trip, taking into account that I didn't have a passport, didn't have a flight, ended up in Manhattan for a bunch of hours to get about, and then the trip itself. So I had many hours to do Chazara. It's on the same day. Thank you for the experience. Here's a rap-style version of my story, learning while traveling. Yo, Rebelli, let me tell you the vibe. MDY trend, learning Torah worldwide. My nephew got engaged, wedding overseas. From Lakewood to England, I was catching degrees inspired by Mo Landy. Yeah! I made a plan. Chazar on the go with a Gemara in hand. Downloaded Chagiga. The beats were tight. Listening on the plane through the day or night. Traveling far, but Torah is my guide. With Chagiga, I'm feeling the ride. From Lakewood to the sky, every moment's gold. MDY style, let the story be told. The flight was long, but the time was mine. Each daf, every word felt so divine. Chazar in the air, wisdom in my ear. Even at 30,000 feet, Torah is crystal clear. Not just a journey, it's a mission, you see. Turning hours of travel into a legacy. Thank you, Reb Eli, for sparking the flame. Learning while I travel, it's a whole new game. Traveling far, but Torah is my guide. With Masechtas Chagiga, I'm feeling the ride. From Lakewood to the sky, Bekitzer. Turning into trips. What's this guy's name again? I can't believe it. Oh, Yaakov Friedman is his name. Now, it does say here, after I read the thing, it says, rap created by AI. No. I didn't want to tell you at the beginning. I didn't want to ruin it. You guys, wow, this guy's, he's legit. He's already thinking of hiring him for Schlock Rock. Wow.
And I'm listening to you read it like a Dr. Seuss book with a nice rhythm and cadence. It's very good.
Nice rhythm and cadence.
Pretty fly for a white guy.
Oh. We got to thank Eitan G. Rabbi Isai, maybe camera in onto the bowl of lentil soup.
Red lentil soup.
Avada's red. What else is it? Red lentil soup. Lekaved, his siyum on Parshas Toldos.
Yeah,
Parshas Toldos. It's a great parsha, no?
It's
oh,
great.
So the Schneemaker's working out, huh?
It's working out awesome.
I better start putting money aside. I'm getting a little nervous here. I think you're going to hit that helicopter ride.
I'm working on it. I want to know who's going to pay the other half. That's what you got to work on.
No. We'll find you a spot. Listen, you're investing so far. You're investing.
That's it.
Maybe slow down on the investments and put towards the helicopter ride.
Just a little homage, just a little something to let you know that I did the whole parsha.
Why? Unbelievable. Gewaldig. Kol kavod. Yishkoyach. Rebbitzen Stefansky. Have been following the daf here from Valley Village, California for about 6-7 months. This year was so enjoyable and I learned more than I ever thought I could. I know you were here in Valley Village, Ema Banim, a few months back, but I was out of town. So was Eitan G. Our show is a based tefillah with Rabbi David Edelstein. Your human personality make the shir. I've not experienced this before trying to learn the daf. It makes the time go fast and I learned so much more. I don't know, is everything a rhyme these days? Or I'm just in my head, it's a big rap. Thank you all for the prep work you do, especially the appropriate videos you make to sync with the daf. Keep up the good work. I have several relatives on my wife's side in RBS right now, including one of my wife's sisters. Where is the daf shul located? Thanks, Rob Kirschberg. Just put it in Waze, MDY, you'll get here. It's on Nachal Noam 9. Shalom Aleichem, come on in. Rabbi Isai, here we go. We have a guy by the name of Elvis, a very interesting character. He works really hard. After every single day share, he sits in the basement for an hour or two, trying to do chazara and trying to figure out the things. He learned Aleph Beis maybe when he was 19 or something. He told us. He came up here one day and he told us the whole story. And he married the daughter of the Mashgiach of Manchester, I think, something like that, of Gateshead. So, anyways, he came to me after this year, and this is for him. But I didn't realize he doesn't really come on Motzei Shabbos. He said, we're learning the music of the Acne. He says, listen, it sounds very much like, let me see if I can get there. Here we go. Oops. I ruined it. Hold on. Let me get it. Oh, the Acne. So he says, if we do the Acne, everybody will remember this music in Shas. What is the Acne? I can't even say it now.
It's a very short daf today. Great.
Yeah, but I don't know if you were here on Friday. We have to finish the one from Friday. What? More learning, the better, dude.
Same. Got excited.
For what? For little learning.
Is this the shortest page in the whole Shas there?
No.
They're shorter than this?
Yes.
You know?
Oh, I got to do the thing. Okay.
I'm in. Good. Man.
The Rabbi Isai. Let's just do the sponsors real quickly. Don't get excited yet. Mazel is a safe and speedy return of all the hostages. I told my friends in Shabbos, they said, this Shabbos is going to be 6 hostages released. They said, I didn't know. I said, I didn't know. It's Pashat and nothing. So they realized I don't have Ruach HaKodesh. Oh, look who's there, Refuah Shleimah. He's at what? He's been up and about. Givaldik, Shalom Aleichem. Nice oilam in Manchester, very nice. Kol HaKavod. The earlier Shabbos, I guess, works. So the Parnassa Chodesh, Lidinishmas Chaya ben Moshe, Lidinishmas Chaya bas Yosef. Kidnovations LLC in honor of my uncle Rebbitzen Pressman and Fishel. It should be a zechus for Akiva Simcha Ben Fayga shidduch for Yehudit Chaya, and a thank you to Rebbitzen Stefansky for selflessly giving up her husband for the klal. It should be a zechus for a year filled with Mazel, Bracha, hatzlacha, Parnassa B'revach and Refuah. Parnassa Chodesh Yosef ben Chaya Sara for Parnassa B'revach. Parnassa Chodesh Tzvi Spero Refuah Shleimah Itamar Ephraim ben Chaya Blima. Parnassa Chodesh Refuah Kidnovations LLC for Breina Bina about Miriam Bela or Bracha, or a Bracha about Breina Bina, Netanel Kalev ben or a Bracha. Parnassa Refuah Shleimah for Yosef Shmuel ben Alta Nechama from his grateful family, Refuah Shleimah, and Parnassa Yom hatzlacha Parnassa and Refuah Shleimah l'chol choylei Am Yisrael. Amen. Parnassa Chodesh for zechus rebellion, the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable for so many. Very short reminder to remind your friends that we're starting Masechta Sanhedrin. I don't know how many days it is. 18 days left. High days left. We have to start working and we have to work hard. We have to get them in here. We have to change their lives. And there's, I don't know how many rooms, but I'm going to say about 70 rooms left in the hotel. And it's going to be geshmak. It's going to be unbelievable. Whoever could afford it, and whoever can afford it should take out a home loan or something. It's so kedai. Be'emes. I'm not joking. You're signing as a guarantor? For $1,000? Yeah. Okay. Rabbi Sai, here we go. We are holding Imtim Tzalem. You'll discuss all your things, what you think should be and shouldn't be. We'll discuss afterwards, okay? I appreciate it. But Be'ez Hashem, there will be something here in Eretz Yisrael, but it's not appropriate to discuss it. I'm discussing this. You want to discuss your things, you can discuss afterwards. Imtim Tzaloimar. We're holding by the sugya of the acne. The acne. Here goes. So let me just show you. Here we have the acne. Loiven the malva. This is how it works. On the 1st of Nisan, somebody borrowed money from somebody else, and he said that no matter what, if I buy another piece of property, the acne, anything that I will buy in the future will also be mishubad. You'll put a lien on it on the loan. Later on, I forgot to change this one because we said that's kano machar. You're right. We didn't get there. Kano machar. Fine. We could change it. Whoever does the editing. Who's doing the editing tonight? Not you, Yosef. You're doing this. Maybe you could put the other one in. Kano machar. We'll have to find it for you. A pro like you could do it in 10 seconds, no? Take from here, put in there. Okay, whatever. Maybe Gary could do it right now. It's on the other daf. Kana umachar. But it's not important, this whole thing. If it's not in, you get it. So he buys a piece of property. He sells it to somebody else. And then pretend that he sold it to somebody else. That's the other chart. And then the malva comes and says, I want that piece of property. That's the acne. So Gemara says like this. If you say that the malva has nothing to do with this property, okay, great. So I give in and there's nothing going on. But if you say that the malva has the right to go after property that was purchased after the loan took place, what happens if lava, v'chazar, v'kana, mahu? There were 2 loans. Here we go. Lava. There's a malva. Come, the seat's over here. You want to sit over here? You can sit in the front. There's a seat over there in the corner. Don't stand like that. Here we go. You see, Rabbi, see what happened there? There's malva 1, malva 2. There's 2 loans going on. And then the loiva buys a piece of property. What is that called when he buys a piece of property? Dakni. Acne, yeah? And then the question is, does the Malva 1 or Malva 2, who gets the property? You would probably say Malva 1 gets it. Why? Because he's first. But on the other hand, maybe he's redoing things in his mind. He took another loan. Maybe he wants to take it away from the Malva 1 and give it to Malva 2. And therefore, the Gemara says, well, maybe you should do Chalukah. What if, in fact, the Malva could come after the property? But what happens if there's two Malvas? Lava v'lava, v'chazer v'kana mau. He borrowed, and then he bought a piece of property. L'kama mishtabed, does it go to Leiva number 1, to Malva number 1, or Lebas mishtabed goes to Malva number 2? Omer of Nachman, or Milsi Bailon, they asked this question, v'sholchu mitam, Rishon kana. Okay, they said, the first one, that's what a lot of us were thinking. He was the first in line. He gave the first loan, so he gets the property. No. At this point, they both have a lien, and therefore 50-50. V'chein tani Rabbi Baravua yachloiku, and we also learn from Rabbi Baravua chalukah. Omer Avina. This is amazing. Mahadura kamo de Ravashi. Omalon Rishon kana. Rabbi said today, I'll tell you. Myself, Noam, and Avi Kamiansky, we went to visit Rabbi Schomburg. He has rows. So we go into his house, and we walk in. He didn't know we're coming. When we walk in, he's sitting and learning. He's on a bed. He's laid out like this. His leg is blown up like this. Blisters everywhere. He was on what do you call it? A drip. They gave him not now he wasn't, but they had to get antibiotics deep in, back and forth to the hospital. He's doing much better now, Baruch Hashem. But he said he couldn't miss his Dvar Torah that he gives for the MDY. So his Dvar Torah is on this, and he started talking to us about this thing. Just thought it's fascinating to me. I wish I had a camera watching him. He didn't know we're coming. He's there with the sefer, just learning in a laying position. I see the food is on the table, ready to eat. He's just trying. I guess his foot is propped up, learning away. So what does it say over here? It's a very interesting thing. Rav Ashi went through Shas. Don't tell this to the Yeshiva Bachar. Baruch Hashem, I don't think they usually don't get the Kufnun Zayin over here. But it says over here, it took him 30 years to get through Shas. There's Madura Kama, and then there's Madura Basra. The second time around, it's another 30 years. It took him 60 years. I once heard, I don't know where and how, that there's a few Mesechtas, like Nedarim, that the Gemara always says, or Taisa says on Nedarim, it's a Lashon Meshuna, it's a funny Lashon Nedarim. Nazir, Krisus, Mila, I think those are that Rav Ashi, it seems like, never got around to doing it a second time. So that's why and the Gemara over here says too. So the way it works, the way Rabbi Schomburg explained it to me, or us, and he's going to write about it. I said, it's a Sregim after Sukkot. It's next week. So he said, every 5 months, the Roshivas would grab a Masechta and go through a whole Masechta. On month number 6, they would all gather together. All the Rosh Yeshivas would come to one place, and they called that a Yarchikala. And the Yarchikala, I think right now there's a Yarchikala going on, or it's just read about. Just ended. The Mir, whatever, Yarchikala. Maybe one day we'll do a Yarchikala for MDY. We'll do a what? It's not a Yarchikala. This is Yarchikala means just learning. They'll will come to the Kailal, those who want, will learn. They'll make us Meshuggah, we'll go to some Gdoilim, get on a bus, take pictures. Maybe one day. Crazy idea. Anyway, I'm not interested. But if anybody else is. So, they would learn for 5 months in Masechta, and then repeat the whole Masechta between themselves, and go over all the questions that Klal Yisrael sent in. And at the end of the month, they would come up with answers. It was a whole thing called Yarchikala. And whoever wants to know why it's called Yarchikala, go look at at Rabbi Schomburg's piece. So, Omer Ravina. Who's Ravina? Ravina and Ravashi. They wrote the Gemara. It says, Ravina, Ma'adura Kamo de Ravashi. When the first time around, when he was younger and he was in cycle 1, Omar Lon, Rishon Kana. The first one, when we have here, let's go back to Oh, this is the ikni makano machar. Great. You know what? Let's just do it. Why not? If we already have it here and he stuck it in, how does it work? Oh, maybe go back. So the loiva and malva. The loiva goes and purchases a property, and then he goes and he sells the property. And now it's already sold. Can the original malva, all the way on the right, grab his property away and take it? Givaldi. Okay? Perfect. Thank you. Bezer Hashem will be easy for you. Look, we're going to do it. You know what? I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm making a short daf. Bezer Hashem, we're going to do Amud Aleph really, really quick. And then Amud Beis really, really quick. I'll drop some stories for you. We'll try one. Givaldi.
It's the stories I remember. I love the stories.
I shouldn't drop any stories?
No, I love stories. The stories that are...
How about the songs, the slow songs? You remember those?
I don't even know half the stuff.
Okay, let's go.
But I love your stories. I remember all
I
the stories.
I appreciate it.
It always happens here in Ormat Beit Shemesh. The woman with the Chala, the guy, your neighbor with the pigeons, the bathtub that fell.
Yosef, I thought it's going to be a short shear. I'm sorry. No, keep on going. You want to repeat all of them? First of all, you're giving away all my stories. I can't even say them now.
Why would you repeat a story? You have so many.
You're allowed to repeat a story once a year. A joke every 2 years.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
There's a formula.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. So we're here in the middle of something I don't even know what. Let's just start the new Mishnah. So where are we? Oh. What is the question here? What are we talking about? We forgot already. So let's go back to this. In a situation where there's two malvas, what do? Oh, you see, I forgot about this. Here's a moicher, I forgot to click. It's a good thing I clicked on it again. We have a question. Who do you give it? So when he first time around Shas, he said it goes to the first one. Rabbi, you see what's going on here? Ravashi in his first time around said one thing, second time another thing. That's why you got to do the daf again. One cycle is not enough. Madura Basra the Ravashi Omelon Yachloiko. And then he said, no, let's divide it up. V'hilchasa, in fact, like Ravashi said the second time around, v'hilchasa Yachloiko. Meisvei. We have a question. Let's go back to the story. There's a malva and a loiva. The loiva borrows money from the malva. Remember the story? We just had it the other day. This guy borrows money, so the property becomes meshubad, or there's a lien on the property to the malva. But the loiva has the right, he goes ahead and he sells the property. The loiva promises the buyer that if something happens, he will repay him. He also promises the malva, I will repay the loan. So now he has two promises out there. And the buyer goes ahead and he improves the land. Why did he buy land? He bought the land so he could make some money on it, to build a house. He planted some trees. He planted wheat. Eventually the malva comes and takes the land away. So the halacha is, when the buyer wants to get reimbursed from the loiva, he gets reimbursed for the principal that he invested in the property, gets reimbursed from other properties, but the houses, the trees, and everything else only from b'nei chayrin. Here we go, like this, okay? The keren, the principal is $100 that he can take from property. The shevach, the houses and everything else, b'nei chayrin.
Why is this different than every other time that we learned this?
Hold on, we're in the middle. Let me finish. Hold on. What? Things that he sold. Yeah, things that he sold. Okay. So says the Gemara like this. And if you're right, you do 50-50 when you have two borrowers. There's 50-50. Over here also, he promised two separate people two different things. He promised the malva, I'll take care of you. He also promised the buyer, I'll take care of you. So in fact, we should split 50-50. Why does the malva get 100% and the buyer gets nothing? He has to go after the loiva. He should be able to split Everything with the malva. V'miso chatzi shevach miboyle. So Zimar says, you're right. My goy v'namediktani, chatzi shevach. You're right, it's half. Half of the shevach. What are you asking? This better be good.
We've learned in every other time that I feel like we learned this case already, and
Yeah.
the dean was that the malva, he takes the property and he pays the shevach to the lokaf.
Takes the shevach.
He pays the lokaf the shevach.
The malva wants it for himself. He's owed a lot of money. He's owed more than that.
But it
Why
says on the chart that the Karen is 100 and the shevach is 300.
Correct. 30. Right.
30.
And he gets it for himself.
So
The whole...
the Ava is
No, the halva was 200, let's say. He lent 200. He still is owed more money. He goes after this property, he keeps the house and he keeps the trees. He keeps everything. And he tells the buyer, go, you fight with the loiva. This is my property. You invested, you improved my property.
then why is this different from all the other times we learned?
When we get to the other time, then you'll ask over there. Over here, this is what it says. Says the Heilige Mishnah, Daf Kuf Nun Ches Amud Aleph. Nofal habayis olav al ishtoi. We continue with the same theme. Terrible stuff. Husband and wife, they are killed in a house, collapses, and kills them both. And again, we don't know who died first. They don't have any children. We don't know. The Dubna Magid says, the famous marshal that he says that there was a guy, Chassid came to a Rebbe, and the Rebbe gave him a bracha that you should be successful in the very first thing that you do. So he comes home and he tells his wife, quick, give me all the gold and all the silver and all the money. I got to do business right now. The Rebbe promised. She says, no way. I know how you are in business. No way. He says, no, right now. What the Rebbe said. Kids are back and forth. She says, absolutely not. And before you know it, things are flying and she's throwing at him and he's throwing at her. And he realized that what the Rebbe meant is the very first thing he's going to do, he's going to be very matzliach. And that was a huge fight with his wife. It was a beautiful fight. Broken windows, broken dishes. It was gewaldic. So, no, because it says over here, sometimes you get into such a machlekes, just the whole house is destroyed. Everything is destroyed from the machlekes. But we say that Shabbos is Mekara Bracha. So, if you realize that when you come to Shabbos, you sit down by the Suda, and you make it a geschmack, you make it a beautiful experience, then the bracha is that beautiful experience. But if, I was here, we learned the sugi on Friday, and the whole room, they were like, yeah, how does Friday look in your house? The matzah with the showers, and the burning food, and the screaming, and the yelling from here to there, it's gewaldic. If that's what you bring into the Shabbos, that will be your bracha. Your bracha will be a gewaldic fighting time. Gewaldic. So, I don't know, just had an experience. I don't know how it stopped. I think we used to have this kind of matzah, but I'm literally 25 years ago maybe. If you prepare stuff on Thursday and but some people, they're in the same, it's a habit. It's just the same cycle. Every Friday, no matter when Shabbos comes in, it's the same screaming, yelling, this, that, the kids are running out of the shower, the dripping, the whole, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Okay. The item knew what I was talking about. Yeah. Gewaldic. Huh? It's always the women's fault. No, Rabbi said it's our fault. It takes two to tango. That's the mistake. You see, you still think it's her fault. It's not. It's also yours. Not as much. Versteht sich, 70-30. But hey, you got to take a little responsibility. Come on. Okay. It happens to be that the Minchas Yitzchak was asked this question. I think it was a true story. Maybe it was a made-up one. But he said that there were, in Auschwitz, they witnessed a father and a mother and two children going to the left, which means that they all died. And the mother came from a very wealthy family. She brought into the marriage, a factory, a maisa. And the question is, who died first? Because the wife's family wanted the factory back. And the husband's family said no. So it's a real Shiloh who died first. And then you have the second piece that he says that there's children. And maybe it doesn't matter because the children inherited, so it really stays on the husband's side. So he said the fact that there's children doesn't really add anything. And he says this is the question that we have right over here in our Mishnah. So, Yorshe Abal Oimrim Isha Mesa Rishoin Vachkach Mesa Abal. I once heard a joke. I don't know if it's funny or not. I might botch it up. At El Shever Brachas, this guy was saying, I guess he said this joke many, many times. He's a pro. And he said, there was a perfect couple. There was a perfect husband and a perfect wife. Mamish perfect. And they were driving down the highway and they saw Mickey Mouse wanted a ride. So they stopped and they pulled over and they gave Mickey Mouse a ride. And then there was a horrible, horrific accident and two of them died and one of them survived. Who survived? So yes, and he says, it has to be that the wife survived because there's no such thing as Mickey Mouse and there's no such thing as a perfect husband. And all the women are laughing, they schmack. And then he tells the women, okay, now close your ears. You can't listen to this part. And he says, yeah, but at the end of the day, she wasn't so perfect because she had an accident. So how could it be that she... So then the guy started laughing and then he's like, and then he looks at the woman and says, I told you you're not allowed to listen. So you see, women never listen to rules. I asked not to listen. They listened anyway. It's a whole mess. The place is on the floor. Anyway, of course I botched it up, but we go weiter. Don't try to say it over the Shever Brachas unless you heard it directly from this guy. Huh? You had to be there. No, it's fine. Says the Gemara like this. So, what's the Shiloh? Shiloh who died first, the husband or the wife, Yorsha Baloimrim, let's say the guy's father. He's a Yerush of the husband because they don't have children, so let's say the guy's father. Isha Mesa Rishon. The wife died first. V'achkach Mesa Bal, and then the husband died. So again, Isha Mesa Rishon, V'achkach Mesa Bal, it has to be that the woman died first. The husband inherited the factory, and then the husband died. And now we want the factory. And the father of this wife says, no way, this factory that I gave my daughter, it's not going to go out of my family now. Her husband died first. So I deserve the factory back. So, this is Gishmak. I showed this to you, right? Did I show this one of Surfside? Nah, I didn't show you this. This Surfside, Rahmal and Slan. A lot of Yidden. It's a couple of years ago. And then you have this. Maybe some volume, please.
He's handsome.
The fire department handing over the reins to the police department, and now the police department will try to figure out what caused this home to explode and then collapse. It is all calm right now in this neighborhood. People just waking up.
Okay, so sometimes a house falls down on top of people. Here, there's 11 people in the house when it exploded. They were searching. They didn't know how many people were in there. It's so it's scary stuff. Okay. So we have something called the belongings of a wife. What could she possibly have, Rabbi Yisai? Nichsim Milog, no. What else? What's the third one? Rabbi Weisfish said it. You said also Ksuba. Okay, here's Ksuba. This is all. What it really means is property that's set aside for the Ksuba. Then we have something called Nichsim Milog. Please turn off the speaker. No, it's not off. Test. Okay, better. The Tzoyim Barzel. So what are these things? So Tzoyim Barzel literally means metal sheep. And basically, what happens is that when they get married and they have to write it in the ksuba that she's bringing in, let's say a nursing home, whatever it is, it's gonna be Tzoyim Barzel. Meaning, let's determine the price. What's the value today? It's $1 million. The husband owes the wife $1 million. He basically, for all practical purposes, it became his. He just pays the wife $1 million if they ever get divorced or if he dies. Now, what's interesting is that the Rashbam says 4 lines from the top on Daf Yomi Beis that the husband could actually sell it. He has a lot of ownership over here. Now, that's Soim Barzel. Here, Soim Barzel. If he gives her a get, even though it goes down in value, he has to pay her the full value of $1 million. Okay. Nichsi Melug is different. Nichsi Melug is, no matter what, the husband gets to use all the profits, he benefits from the profits, but if the nursing home goes up and down in value, that's it, it's her loss. Goes down in value. Okay. So, it goes like this. The Mishnah is going to be discussing all 3 things. First of all, the Mishnah says, when we're talking about the 2, Nichsim Elug and Tzoim Barzel, I don't know about you, but I remember in Yeshiva when I used to hear Nichsim Elug, Tzoim Barzel, I used to automatically, I would like switch off kind of thing. It's like, it's almost like Trumas and Meisers. Easy stuff. So, Yachloiku. Okay? We don't know who died first. There's a big family feud over here. 50-50. The nechasim is referring to over here, Rabbi say to Soim Barzel. Soim Barzel came in from her father. It's b'chaskasan. We're going to see, well, I shouldn't give it away. The Gemara is going to say, what does it mean b'chaskasan? We'll go with it. Ksuba, what about the property that's dedicated to her ksuba? B'cheskes yorshei abal. She didn't get it yet. It's still part of the husband's estate, and therefore, if we don't know if he even owes her a ksuba, because perhaps she died before him and there was no ksuba at all, okay, so he gets to hold it. What is that called? Nichsei milug. It goes in and out with her. In other words, she came in with it. She's going to leave with the nursing home. He can't sell it. So therefore, it's b'chesed before you turn the page. What does Av mean? Whose father? Her father. B'nichsei Av, meaning her father. Okay, says, I got to tell you this before I forget. A true story. You're not going to like it. It's not up your alley, but I'll say it anyways. Okay. Let's do this. If you don't like it, you laugh like it's the craziest thing ever. Okay. And if you do like it, don't laugh. Shas Yidin guys, this guy is a boychin at Shas Yidin. He's forherring the Shas Yidin. They know Shas Bal Peh. He asked the question. He says, "Where is it?" So a guy screamed out, "Daf Kuf Samach." She says, "Very good, very good. What Masechta?" And the whole place started laughing their heads off. There is no Masechta in the entire Shas that has Kuf Samach besides Bava Basra. There is no Masechta in the entire Shas that has Daf Kuf Nuches in the entire Shas. This is the only one. This is the only Daf Kuf Nuches in the whole Shas, right here. They were laughing. They thought, he's forherring us, and he doesn't even know that there's no other Masechta in Shas that doesn't have Kuf. I mean, most people don't know that. But if that's what you're doing all day. You're going through Shas. Baruch Hashem, I didn't have that busha when I forheard them. You know the story. After I was done forherring them, what did I forher? I don't know Shas. I went to my friends. I went to my father. He said, "You have any good kashas in Shas?" And I showed them some pictures, asked them this. So when I was done, I played the game well. Where else is it in Shas? Very good. They go over to Menachem Mendel Fenster, the guy from our koil, who's part of their koil also. The Shas, he says, "Wow, you didn't say this Stefansky. He's mamish. He's like this the whole Shas." He said, I didn't say, but I will tell you, he's very, very weak when it comes to chulin. Mesechtes chulin, he's very shvach." And he walked away. So that's a little Gnevas Das, but okay, that's his problem, not mine. And they still think until they watch this, which they won't.
This Masechta is it only.
That's how it is. Because there's a reason. Because this Masechta has Rashbam instead of Rashi. And Rashbam is extremely, extremely long. So that's why it was very easy. Most of the Dapim are very, very short. And it makes it easier. Sanhedrin is not going to be like that. It's a Gishmak and Masechta, but not as short. We're going to go back. Anyways, so says the Gemara, Daf Kuf Nuches, Amud Beis. Becheskas mi, when it says that this Tzoyim Barzel stuff, right? It goes to the Chazaka, the Gemara says, the Mishnah says it goes to the one who's muchzak. Rebbe Yochanan Becheskas Yoshaya Baal. Look, because the husband could sell it, so he's considered the muhzak. He's the one in charge right now. Goes to him. Look, she brought it into the marriage. It should be hers. I don't know, do we go this way, that way? Let's just divide it. And Rebbe Kapar also said we do chalukah. The turning of the daf is sponsored by Berkovici family, the zechus klal Yisrael. Thank you. And Glenn Esserson, dedicated to Gilad Jacob Israel. Thank you for bringing the daf into my life. Baruch Hashem. Says the Eli Gemara.
Why is it called Tzvi Spero?
Because it's strong like metal. Sometimes they bring a couple sheep into the marriage, which remind, like in South Africa, you see cows just walking around everywhere. So you ask, what's going on? Because that's how they get married. In order to marry someone, you have to give them a bunch of cows. So they're just everywhere. And entirely more. Maybe they give sheep, but it's solid like metal. It goes back to the wife. It's the wife's. Says the Mishnah. Great kasha. Is he doing the daf? He's trying. How many daf did Shmulik do? Over 1,000 daf as a kid before his bar mitzvah. Unbelievable. Huh? And he got fahered? Really? All right. Novel Abayis Olav Alimoy. Terrible tragedy. A house falls on a person and his mother. His mother doesn't have any other children. She doesn't have a husband. She's all by herself in the world. Elu va'elu moidin shiach loiku. Beisila and Bishami will argue. Over here, there's no argument. Everybody's moida that you do chalukah. Omer Akiva moidani bezu shanachaz b'chazkas. What? Bishami Mazel. What? You have the yarshim of the mother and the yarshim of the kid. You have his people that want to inherit from his side and the mother's side. I admit, but it's not really admit. I argue. I'm not admitting. You use the lashon that everybody's maida. I'm also kind of, it's like almost a sarcastic lashon, I think. You admit that this chalukah, Beis Hillel and Shai got together and they said this chalukah. No, I also admit. I'm arguing you. And we're going to have to see who this is. Amalei ben Azai. So Ben Azai tells Rebbe Akiva, Al Chalukin onim tztarin. There's so many machlokes in Shas and in Klal Yisrael. El Shabbasel Echalik Oleinu Es Hashabin. You want to make it worse? Excuse me. What are you doing? We finally have Beisil and Mishamai, two greatest machlokes in Klal Yisrael, and they agree, and now you want to ruin that? So I don't know if this is even remotely true, but this is what I thought, so I'll just tell you. Usually the Mishnah doesn't repeat every sentence and every comment made in a Beis Medrash. This seems like a non-logical comment. Torah is Torah. Rebbe Akiva, he didn't just, let's make a fight. He felt that it goes to the one that's muhzak. So what's Ben Azai saying over here? This is an emotional thing. This is something, somebody has emotions and not logic. Gemara is logic. So, we finally have somebody that agrees to it and then you make a machlokes. So what does he want? Rebbe Akiva to retract because there shouldn't be a machlokes? What do you mean? Just l'chayra, the Mishnah is showing us the importance of not having a fight, not having a machlokes. That's what we're trying to bring out a point there. Ben Azai was bothered. Not that he's going to change Rebbe Akiva's mind, but how important it is to make shalom when you can make shalom, not to have machlokes when you can't, and when you don't have to make a machlokes. I think there's a lesson here. Says the Gemara, Becheskas Mi, when Rebbe Akiva says that when the house falls on a mother and a son, it's not a yachloiku. You give it to the one that's holding on to it. Becheskas Mi. Rabbi Ila Omar becheskas Yorshem. It goes to her Yorshem. Rabbi Zera Omar becheskas Yorshem Ben. So you have a machlokes in that also. Kisalik Rabbi Zera When Reb Zeir went to Eretz Yisrael, he made Aliyah. We have in the room here a great number of people that made Aliyah within the last month, 2 months, and 3 months. If you made Aliyah in the last half a year, raise your hand. That's incredible. Incredible. And there's a guy in the back who I can't even see your face. I saw you. You just made Aliyah when?
I'm Social was there. I was actually born in Israel, but I speak an American accent.
Amazing. And the guy behind you, when did you get here? July 15th. Givaldi. Okay, so anyway, I'm also I didn't make Aliyah yet, so I don't count.
Me neither.
You either. Okay. So says the Gemara, when he came to Eretz Yisrael, Kom b'shitzei de Rebbe Eli. He said it goes to the Yarshim of the. He said what Rebbe Eli said. It goes to the Yarshim of the father, of the mother. Chesed Yarshim. Kom Rabbi, and Rabbi said, b'shitzei de Rebbe Zeir. It goes to what Rebbe Zeir said. Chesed Yarshim ben. Omer Rebbe Zeir. Shma mino. You see that only when he came to Eretz Yisrael he decided this. Aviro Eretz Yisrael machkim. The famous line that the ear in Eretz Yisrael makes you smarter. How does the ear in Eretz Yisrael make you smarter? The Sfura says because Eretz Yisrael is the only land that wasn't affected by the Mazel. So it has the original ear, so to speak, of Sheshis Mei Bereshis. It's a smarter type of ear.
How long does that take to kick in?
Oh. I'll tell you what the Regina said on that question. Somebody came to Regina and said, it didn't kick in. So Regina says, listen, the way it works is, Eitan is whatever you have, it doubles. But if you start with 0, that's why you're never going to feel it, unfortunately.
All right. It's all good.
And listen, if you didn't grow up in Eretz Yisrael, you're not going to get exactly what I'm saying. But I lived in Bnei Brak for three years in Ramat Elchanan, that's Yitzchak Zilberstein city. And every time I went to any yeshiva in Eretz Yisrael, any place, they always Bnei Brak. There's a certain hate. So if you understand that Baruch Martin was once giving a shir klali, and there was an annoying bacher that kept on pestering questions. So he said, listen, where do you live? He says, Bnei Brak. He says, that's the pshat. He says, it says, Avir Eretz Yisrael machkim, but if you're ever in Bnei Brak, there's no ear over there. So therefore... Okay, anyways, we could go on and on and on, but Yosef wants to make this a shorter daf. Oh. Listen to this. Huh? What does that mean? Yeah, and he says machkirim. Okay. Machkirim. Instead of machkim. I'm not even going to repeat it. I don't want to insult everybody here. Maybe you Satmar. If you Satmar, then you believe it. He says, since the Medina, he's a very anti-Medina. Since the Medina, there's no machkim. It's machkrim. It makes you crooked. That's what he said. Okay. Givaldik. Okay, so anyways, listen to this. It says like this. The Yavit says that this Isser, it says in Gemara Brachas, you should never learn by yourself. Whoever learns by yourself, Cherev, Alabadim Noyalu, that's Talmidei Chacham that learn by themselves, they metapish, they become stupid, he says that doesn't apply in Eretz Yisrael. Because Avir Eretz Yisrael Machkim, that overrides the metapshim. That's the Choslarz. But Reb Shlomo Zalman has beautiful. He says, so then why did Achitophel yell at David HaMelech for learning by himself? David HaMelech lived in Eretz Yisrael. Okay, let's just go weiter. We just have to do a few lines here, and the Israelis are already here, so we're not even going to finish this Amud. V'tayma mai. That's it. We're just going to do one line. Omar Abaya. What's the reason it goes to the woman's side? Because it came from her family. It was in the family for hundreds of years. And now you want to pull it out of her family, give it to the husband's family. That's not right. So Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful evening. A good Voch. Tomorrow, 7:10, a good Chodesh. And for the Israelis, 9 o'clock at night, tomorrow night. Yishkoyach for coming.